Greetings all. This video I'm going to talk a little bit about the 6502 microprocessor. This processor was first released back in 1975. It became very popular for a few reasons. One is it had a clock oscillator on board. All you needed was an external crystal, or you could feed an external oscillator into it. But all the phases and the clock generation signals were all on board. Another thing is, previously in the microprocessor world, they were using NMOS, enhancement mode. And this required multiple power supplies, and it complicated the design substantially. The 6502, however, was built with depletion mode transistors. This eliminated the need for multiple power supplies. It would operate on a single 5-volt supply, and as an added benefit, it took less current, so it was lower power. And when this was released, it was about, I think, around the sixth of the cost of the 8080. So that was one of the big selling points. Another was it was readily available. Therefore, it was used in a lot of early computers. Apple used them, Commodore, multiple other examples were implemented in other manufacturers' products. This also is a register-based processor. As you can see with the block diagram here, you have the address bus there on the left, the data bus at the bottom, and this is a 16-bit address bus, so it will address 65,536 locations, i.e. 64K. It's an 8-bit data bus. There's an index register, a Y, an index register X, and then of course the stack pointer, the accumulator, the program counter, high and low, and an input data latch. Also you have the ALU, and then the instruction decoder, the interrupt logic, the clock generator and timing control on the far right, and then the processor status register. So with all of these registers and with all of these I/O pins, it became a really easy process to implement in a given system. That's why so many companies use this processor. That and its low cost, low power, ready availability, a single clock, and a single power supply. Now, there are other ICs that go along with this for I/O ports and timers and so on and so forth. The speed of these usually would run from 1 to 3 megahertz. I think probably a typical value would be between 1 and 2, generally speaking. There's 56 instructions. It came in a 40-pin DIP package, typically. There was also a lawsuit from Motorola that said the 6502 infringed on their patents. That's because the main architects and designers of the 6502 were once employees of Motorola. But this came out in the 6502's favor, So that's why it was, again, another reason it was so widely implemented. Let's see, is there anything else? I think that's going to cover most of it for the 6502. I think the next one will be the Motorola 6809, and that will be coming shortly. So stay tuned, and until that time, adios.